Tôi sẽ hả?
There are a dozen ways to gather water. For many of us, we simply turn on the faucet and collect fresh, clean water for a wide variety of purposes. For those who don't have this luxury, this infrastructure of access, getting water is a literal chore. One that is tedious, backbreaking, and dangerous. According to a 2023 United Nations World Water Development Report, an estimated 2 billion people do not have access to clean and safe drinking water. It's a crisis that has a domino effect on a region. It hinders education, as children are required to spend time collecting water rather than in the classroom. It wastes precious time, as women spend most of their day walking and waiting to fill their buckets rather than developing industry. It weakens health, as contaminated water causes a number of illnesses and even death in our most vulnerable populations. But the need for clean water is a crisis that Maranatha has been helping to solve one village at a time. More than 15 years ago, in 2008, Maranatha's first major water initiative started in Mozambique. A team drilled a well for the village of Kolula. From then on, a well crew, in partnership with Adventist Development and Relief Agency, traveled all across the country to drill wells at 700 sites. The impact was immediate and obvious. After nearly 40 years of primarily focusing on structures, Maranatha's mission expanded to include the life-saving gift of water. Today, water wells are a standard offering in most places that need it. Wells are typically drilled in front of Seventh-day Adventist churches, where they can serve as an outreach to the public. They are a physical reminder of God's outpouring of love and care for people. As of 2023, Maranatha has drilled more than 3,100 water wells in multiple countries around the world. One of the most prolific places we have drilled wells is in Zambia. Zambia is a landlocked country in southern Africa with more than 20 million residents. About 3.1 million live in the capital city of Lusaka, and nearly half the population live in what are defined as urban areas. In fact, it is one of the most urbanized countries in Africa south of the Sahara. But an estimated 11 million people live in rural areas, where only about 53% of households have access to safe water. And these rural areas are where Maranatha has been working to provide clean water in Zambia. After completing an earlier effort to build churches and schools in Zambia from 2009 to 2015, Seventh-day Adventist Church leadership in Zambia asked Maranatha to return in 2018 for more projects. Included in the request was the need for more water wells. This is Luke Johnson. He is Maranatha's country manager in Zambia. He oversees the day-to-day operations of Maranatha's work in the country, including the water well projects.
We have been getting requests from the church pastors, the congregation, and the union offices, and they are sending us the list of wells, the list of needs. There are so many places here in Zambia, they really need water. People, they are just going into the streams to collect water, and they are just digging hand-dug wells, and it's really challenging for them.
In total, Maranatha has drilled more than 1,000 water wells in Zambia since 2019. Our crews work with local contractors to drill the wells. Then, Maranatha's team arrives to install the pumps and pour the concrete bibs. Once the cement dries, the water well is ready for the entire community to use. And the entire community does use it. Anywhere from 500 to 1,500 people may use the well, depending on how scarce the options for clean water.
When we drill a water well for any community, the people are really excited, very happy, and very thankful. They directly relate that this water well is a gift from God, because it is drilled close to the church, and it is kind of answer to their prayers. Water is something which is really we need water for everything. So it plays a very important role in their lives.
It's a tremendous blessing provided by generous sponsors, but it's one that comes with a consequence. Overuse can cause damage to the well, causing it to stop working and shutting off water access to a village. When we come back, learn what Maranatha has done to solve this challenge. Maranatha has drilled more than 3,100 water wells all over the world, often on Seventh-day Adventist church or school properties. But our wells are not exclusive. As part of the agreement, villages must agree to allow the public access to the water at any time. Clean water is a free gift sponsored by the Adventist Church, and thousands of people are helped by this generosity. But when anything is used by hundreds of people day after day, there is inevitable wear and tear, sometimes even misuse, all of which can lead to a broken well. As a solution, Maranatha launched a well maintenance program in 2021.
It is estimated that only 40% of the wells that have been drilled around the world are actually operating. And so Maranatha takes that issue seriously, and we wanted to make a statement that says Maranatha wants to make sure that the water wells that we drill continue to operate over the foreseeable future. And so Maranatha is implementing a series of scheduled maintenance visits to all the wells that we drill to make sure that parts are replaced, and then to respond to emergencies when a well is broken or stops working.
When we drill a new water well, we have a data plate on which we punch all the details about the well, and it also have a cell phone number call for service. So those two numbers are with the repair team. So whenever we get a call for repair or service, we just maintain that in a register, and then we follow it as soon as possible.
This is Nova Lupimpi. He has been working with Maranatha since 2012, when crews were constructing a school in his home country of Zimbabwe.
So they called that they wanted assistant workers to be assisting with digging, trenching, and mixing concrete. So that's how I joined Maranatha.
Nova stayed on with Maranatha, moving into the water wells department. In 2021, he moved to Zambia, where he now leads the well maintenance and repair team. This 4-person crew travels from site to site, responding to calls about broken wells and general maintenance. It isn't an easy life. They spend long days driving over all kinds of roads and encountering all kinds of obstacles that need to be solved.
My typical day for me is I normally wake up around 6 a.m., have my morning devotion, have my breakfast. Then we normally start work around 7:30 to 8. Then we normally do 4, 5 to 6 sites, depending on the district and the distance between sites and the challenges that we face during the day.
Sometimes the visit is just about maintenance, checking to see if the parts and pieces are working well. This can involve taking pieces apart to check the wear and tear and replacing them as necessary. Other times, it's an actual repair. Linda Mulenga is a member of the Chimpetu Adventist Church, where Maranatha drilled a new well. Before that, life was quite different.
Some are hand pumps, some are shallow wells, and sometimes just behind us, this side, there's like a swamp where water would collect, and they would dig like a hole, and that's where they would get the water from. There are a few wells that have been dug around. That's where people would get the water from. But during the dry season, they would dry up. So it would be quite a walk for them to find water.
The new Maranatha well was a blessing for the entire community. But then it stopped working about 2 months ago.
It was really heartbreaking for them because now they had to go way out looking for water again. It is an important ministry because water is very important to everybody in our lives. You know, we all need water, and there's no substitute for water. There's nothing we can substitute it for. So it's really important for our well-being.
It's so important that the water well is actually bringing people to the church. Linda said that the Chimpetu congregation has seen an increase in visitors since the well was installed, and 4 have been baptized.
We've had a number of people coming in, and we've been able to reach others to come to our church, you know, because they come to fetch water here, and, you know, we have a chance of evangelizing to them.
The night before, Linda heard that Maranatha crews were arriving to fix the broken well, so she and others came on site to wait and watch the crew make the repairs. In many ways, it's like watching a puzzle get solved as crews try to figure out what went wrong. Water wells can be broken by being too hard on the pump handle, kids throwing pebbles and other foreign objects into the pump, or just general wear and tear from daily use.
Generally, it's the cylinder. Because of that brass lining inside, sometimes it wears out, sometimes it's the cylinder nut, sometimes it's the foot valve. So if there's any leakage, water will start dropping down, then we know that our foot valve is not okay. So in this case, it's showing that our foot valve is sealing properly.
Things. Says Chimpetu.
If everything goes smoothly, without complications, the process will take 60 to 90 minutes. Then, the village is back to having clean water.
I'd just like to thank you very much for the well that you've given us. It has really brought an impact on our lives and on the lives of everybody around this place. And thank you very much once again for the good work you do.
This is the Michello Adventist Church. It was established in 2003 and has 48 members. Here, community members used to gather water from hand-dug wells. This location did not report a needed repair, but the well was due for a maintenance check.
Today we came to this village and we are doing a well maintenance here. So what we do is like we visit each well after a year what we have drilled, and then the crew opens everything up and check all the parts, and if it is required we change all the parts which can have wear and tear.
Okay, general maintenance is whereby we find a bore. It's working, water is coming out. So we just change the parts that are worn out. Water might be coming out, but you find that maybe the bearings are broken, but they are still functioning, but they are broken. Sometimes you find that water is coming out, but the cylinder is leaking, such that you find someone pumping for something like 20 minutes before water comes out, like especially in the morning when they come to fetch water. Yeah.
When the maintenance is done, a crew person gives a reminder of how to properly use the well to maximize performance and longevity, and then the crew is on their way to the next assignment. From Michello, the crew moves to their third destination for the day, to Longitubili West, for another maintenance call. Here, community members had to pay for water from a private source, but the price for water kept rising over and over again, making it difficult for people to afford water. Now, with a water well, people are able to save their precious money to spend on other much-needed items. Others are able to actually invest in a garden with their saved money and free water.
The moment when we heard that you are bringing something which can help us, we were very happy. And finally, you brought us this, which has helped us really very, very much. And we are enjoying and we are appreciative for what you did for us.
But this work is more than giving clean water. It's also the opportunity water provides for sharing the love of God.
When Maranatha started drilling wells in the places that we were building churches and schools, we did it for the purpose of providing water for people who need it, but also we wanted to give something to the churches that could then be shared with their communities. And so we put in water wells with the agreement that the water will be made free of cost to anyone that can access it in their neighborhood. And so that gift that's given to their neighbors allows the church to make a deep impression. And we've seen those impressions really evolve into some really neat stories as people are impacted by that gift. And I believe that it has allowed the Seventh-day Adventist Church in those communities to really be a relevant presence and to make impact and to impact the lives of their neighbors in a meaningful way.
This was certainly the case for Ubia Kayenda. Ubia lives in the bush of western Zambia. The people here live simply, in the same grass and mud huts that people have been building for centuries in this part of the world. For a while, Ubia was also gathering water in the same old-fashioned way from shallow wells. These are hand-dug wells that are uncovered and often have contaminated water. Then, in 2021, Maranatha arrived to drill a new water well in her village, right next door to Ubia's home at the Chalele Seventh-day Adventist Church. Ubia was touched by the free water from the church. She couldn't believe that a church would provide such a generous gift. It was so intriguing that Ubia decided to visit the church one Sabbath morning. Since then, she has been attending faithfully and was baptized. Ubia's story isn't unique. Many of the congregations we visited have stories of church attendance before the Maranatha well and after.
Once we drill a water well, there is a big impact on the community. It is a source where all the community members they meet and they want to know more about Seventh-day Adventist Church. And I have been told by many pastors that there has been an increase in the number of new church members. I have met few church pastors, and I have seen it that people from far distances, they are moving closer to the churches because they know that they have a source of clean water.
In this way, water is certainly a form of evangelism, a new way to connect people to the gospel of Jesus Christ. When we come back, we peek into the life on the road with the crew and why this work is so much more than a job. Nova and his colleagues are part of Maranatha's well maintenance and repair team in Zambia. Together, they have visited all the Maranatha wells that are more than a year old, some more than once. They are part of a larger, worldwide crew that does this parallel work in other countries where Maranatha has drilled wells, including Kenya and India. The work isn't easy. It can be physically challenging. Crews live out of their trucks, cooking meals on the road. Sometimes they are welcomed with a home-cooked meal by the communities they are helping.
For us to do that.
Nights are spent camping at church sites wherever they land. Today, they are ending their day at the Kalumina Church. This group was established in 1967, and nearly 170 members call this their church home. In May 2022, Maranatha drilled a well for this community. Prior to that, people used to travel 30 minutes to an hour one way to collect water. The well changed their lives.
Actually, that was a big blessing because now people stopped going in far distances to look for water. The water now became within their reach.
Then, the well broke.
Definitely has been difficult because it has affected the life of the people in one way or another. The water collection has been disturbed. And when people are already used to what is already seen, they face a challenge. Say, again it is broken. Where do we go again? Should we go back to the old system? No, there was that problem.
So Nova and his team worked on the well at Kalumina, taking it apart, carefully fixing it. After a long day, this is the crew's last stop of the day. And as tough as the work can get, it is also deeply satisfying. Nova says the best part of his job is seeing people happy.
That smile, that's one of the things that motivate me. Like to see them smile after we have given them water. Actually, one of the best smiles is whereby you go where there's a repair. Where people have dire need of water. And now water is coming out. There is that happiness.
But it's more than just the happiness of having clean water to drink. As the stories of Ubia and so many others have shown, these wells are a ministry, a mission field. So in that sense, Nova isn't just a tradesman. He's a missionary. It's a call that Nova has always wanted to answer.
Actually, before I joined Maranatha, I always longed to be a missionary. That is one of my greatest desires. And after joining Maranatha, actually came to understand that God has answered my prayer. I'm a missionary. Though I'm not preaching the word as in I have to go around reading the Bible, sharing verses, but what I'm doing right now is God's work. And it's impacting people's lives in a very positive way.
In the same way that Nova and his teammates are an integral part of the mission work, your donations are also taking God's love to the deepest corners of the world. And when you give to water wells, you are also responding to the Great Commission, God's call to share the gospel of love, compassion, and service. Every year, Maranatha pushes to serve in a greater capacity, and the water well maintenance program is part of that effort. But we cannot succeed without your help. Be a lasting partner by making a monthly donation to our water program called Wellspring, or sponsor an entire well starting at $10,000. Or you can make a donation of any amount toward water wells. Every dollar is an important drop in the bucket toward bringing a healthier, happier, blessed life for communities around the world.